Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Can you believe how many more days do we have like this? So I don't know what you're doing this morning, but I've been out running. So my once a day, being out, and there's nobody else around, which is absolutely great. And then today we're going to put some music on and we're going to do some hit work. We've got literally David Lloyd's have got things on the apps and there's loads of stuff. Isn't everybody just amazing how they're just firing out material to help people just keep them moving at this time. So there's loads of things out there, so get moving. That's really important because I feel I get up and stretch and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, I just don't feel like I'm moving things the way I used to move them. So anyway, this chapter this morning, it's called it's from a book by the Hidden Power by Thomas Troward, and it's called Touching Lightly. And this, whenever I have to remember myself just to stop. So we've done Serenity yesterday, and this is about touching lightly. So enjoy. What is our point of support? Is it in ourselves or outside us? Are we self-poised, or does our balance depend on something external? According to the actual belief with which our answer to these questions is embodied, so will our lives be. In everything, there are two parts, the essential and the incidental. That which is the nucleus and the raison d'etre of the whole thing, and that which gathers round the nucleus and takes form from it. The true knowledge always consists in distinguishing these two from each other, and error always consists in misplacing them. In all our affairs, there are two factors outside ourselves and the matter to be dealt with. And since for us, the nature of anything is always determined by our thought of it, it is entirely a question of our belief which of these two factors shall be the essential and which the accessory. Whichever we regard as the essential, the other at once becomes the incidental. The incidental can never be absent. For any sort of action to take place, there must be some conditions under which the activity passes out into visible results. But the same sort of activity may occur under a variety of different conditions and may thus produce very different visible results. So in every matter, we shall always find an essential or energizing factor and an incidental factor, which derives its quality from the nature of the energy. We can therefore never escape from having to select our essential and our incidental factor, and whichever we select as the essential, we thereby place the other in the position of the incidental. If then we make the mistake of reversing the true position and suppose that the energizing force comes from merely the accessory circumstances, we make them our point of support and lean upon them and stand or fall with them accordingly. And so we come into a condition of weakness and obsequious waiting on all sorts of external influences, which is the very reverse of that strength, wisdom, opulence, which are the only meaning of liberty. But what if we could ask ourselves the common sense question, where can the center of a man's life be except in himself? We shall see that in all which pertains to us, the energizing center must be in ourselves. We can never get away from ourselves as the center of our own universe. And the sooner we clearly understand this, the better. There really is no energy in our universe but that which emanates from ourselves in the first instance. And the power which appears to reside in our surroundings is derived entirely from our own mind. If once we realize this and consider that the life which flows into us from the universal principle is at every moment new life entirely undifferentiated to any particular purpose besides that of supporting our own individuality, and that it is therefore ours to externalize in any form we will, then we find that this manifestation of the eternal life principle in ourselves is the standpoint from which we can control our surroundings. We must lean firmly on the central point of our own being and not on anything else. Our mistake is in taking our surroundings too much, it says here, grand, seriously. We should touch things more lightly. As soon as we feel that their weight impedes our free handling of them, they are mastering us and not we them. Light handling does not mean weak handling. On the contrary, lightness of touch is incompatible with a weak grasp of the instrument, which implies that the weight of the tool is excessive relatively to the force that seeks to guide it. A light, even playful handling, therefore implies a firm grasp and perfect control over the instrument. It is only in the hands of a grinling gibbons that the carrion tool can create miracles of aerial lightness from the solid wood. The light yet firm touch tells not of weakness, but of power held in reserve. And if we realize our own out-and-out spiritual nature, we know that behind any measure of power we may put forth, there is the whole reserve of the infinite to back us up. As we come to know this, we begin to handle things lightly, playing with them as a juggler does with his flying knives, which cannot make the slightest movement other than that which he has assigned to them. For we begin to see that our control over things is part of the necessary order of the universe. The disorder we have met with in the past has resulted precisely from our never having attempted consciously to introduce this element of our personal control as part of the system. Of course, I speak of the whole man and not merely of that part of him which Walt Whitman says is contained between his head and his boots. The whole man is an infinitude, and the visible portion of him is the instrument through which he looks upon and enjoys all that belongs to him, his own kingdom of the infinite. And when he learns that this is the meaning of conscious individuality, he sees how it is that he is the infinite, and finds that he is one with infinite mind, which is the innermost core of the universe. Having thus reached the true center of his own being, he can never give this central place to anything else, but will realize that relatively to this, all other things are in the position of the incidental and the accessory. And growing daily in this knowledge, he will learn to handle all things lightly, yet firmly, that grief, fear, and error will have less and less space in his world, until at last sorrow and sighing shall flee away, and everlasting joy shall take their place. We may have taken only a few steps on the way as yet, but they are in the right direction, and what we have to do now is go on. Wow, if that was ever something to be read this morning, it's literally about come from the inside out. Decide how you want to be. So here is you, here is what's happening, and then there is your thought. So what's happening is separate to you, and you have a thought about it. What is that thought? Are you in fear? If you're in fear, it means that you're taking on all the information that's here and staying here, and this is all past. This is all evidence of past thinking. Fear is evidence of past thinking. So decide how you want to feel, and decide that the outside does not make you feel anything, but that you decide how you want to feel. When you come from that place and you literally make those decisions, then you start to see different things happening around you. So for right now, for everybody, instead of watching what's happening, decide what you would like to see happening. And if we all start to think that way, start to think of health, happiness, wealth, wellness, joy, touch things out here lightly, and to come from that place, to come from a place of love and compassion and pure joy, and to know that because this now is creating the next now, so stop being in the past now and be in the now that you want to see. And if you can't just get there, well, I'm not fit and healthy, Sheena, but you can start to think, what would it be like to feel better? What's my next best thought? How can this get any better? What's my next best thought? How can this get any better? And just feel from that place. Just feel from that place of people getting better and everything getting better and feeling good and fitness, happy, healthy, wealthy. So listen, have an absolutely blessed, blessed day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I may as well carry on over the weekend because the weekends are just going to be the same as during the weeks now, aren't they? So have a wonderful day. If you need to talk to anybody at this time, just reach out. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So have a wonderful day. I'll see you now.